Hey, good morning. Today, let's take a step back and see if we can understand how to use partial quotients to divide. All right. And in today's lesson, we're going to take it a little bit different by using some very small numbers and some blocks. And as we move the blocks around and divide them up, we'll record what we're doing using partial quotients. And I hope this helps to make partial quotients make a little more sense. So, okay, let's get started with this first example. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks. All right, and we're going to divide those 8 blocks, and we're going to divide them up. Oh, let me move that out of there. Hold on. We're going to divide them by 2. Okay, so the way we write this down, 8 divided by 2, is to start by putting the number of things we have in the group, which is 8, on the paper. And then we write the division symbol, just like that, right over it. You see all over here on the left, it's a little bit curved. And then on the top, it's supposed to be straight. And then we write the number that we're going to use to divide. So the math name for that number is a divisor, but it's just the number that we're going to use to divide. And that number is 2. We write that on the outside, just like that. So now this equation reads 8 divided by 2. And here are our 8 things. So you might remember from last week, and you might not, that's okay. But either way, when we use partial quotients, we always begin by asking ourselves this question. How many groups of 2, or whatever the divisor is, in this case it's 2, how many groups of 2 can we make from 8? So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 8 things and we're going to make groups of 2. And as we do, we'll record it over here using partial quotients, okay? So you can see how these steps relate to actually physically dividing something up. All right, so the first question, can we make one group of 2? Could we pull out 2 blocks and make a group of 2 from these 8 blocks here? I think we could. So what we'll do is we'll take our, we're going to grab 2 blocks and we'll come down here and we'll make a group of 2. So there is one group of 2 right there. Okay, here it is, one group of 2. So in partial quotients, here's how we record that. We start by drawing a line straight down the right side of our problem, just like that. And then we write our one group of 2 over here on the right. And this 1 means that there's one group of 2. So one group of 2 is equal to 2 blocks. So do you see how we set these 2 blocks aside? We dragged them over here and we kind of set them aside. We took them out of the pile. Well, the way we record taking these 2 blocks out of the pile of 8, the way we record taking them away from the pile of 8 is by subtracting, taking 2 away from 8. So we write our equal sign and our subtraction sign, then we subtract 8 minus 2, and we get 6. And look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks left over. So now we repeat the steps. We ask ourselves, can we take another group of 2 from these 6? Sure we can. So let's go ahead and take another group of 2. 1, 2. That's one more group of 2. We'll record it again just like that. And one group of 2 is just 2. So we'll write that amount 2 underneath the 6. And do you see how we just took this group of 2 away? We brought it over here, away from the bigger pile. Well, the way we take away the 2 from the bigger pile of 6 in using numbers, using partial quotients, is to subtract. 6 minus 2 is 4. All right, myself is going to get in the way here. Okay, here we go. Now we have 4 left over. So here's the 4 we have left over. And look, these are the 4. This number 4 represents these 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we repeat the steps all over again. we ask ourselves, okay, well, how many more groups of 2 can we make from the 4? Can we make another group of 2 from the 4 that are left over here? I think we can. So let's grab 2 more. 1, 2 more blocks. There we go. We have another group of 2. So that's one more group of 2. And like we did these first couple of steps, one more group of 2 is 2. So, and just like we showed taking this group away from the big pile, right? We'll take it away from the 4. That's how we represent it. So 4 minus 2 is 2. And this 2 represents what we have left over from the pile. This 2 right here, this is what's left of the pile that we started with. And so we ask ourselves the same question again. We just keep repeating those steps over and over and over. Can we make another group of 2 from these 2 here? Sure we can. So let's do that. 1, 2. So we made one more group of 2. Let's see, let me continue that line down. One more group of 2. And we'll take that 2 away from the pile. And that leaves us with nothing left. So let me move these pieces over here so we can kind of see more clearly. There's nothing left of the pile that we started with. We have divided the entire pile of 8 blocks into 1 group of 2, 2 groups of 2, 3 groups of 2, 4 groups of 2. And look at the way we recorded that over here. We have 1 group of 2, 2 groups of 2, 3 groups of 2, 4 groups of 2. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So to get the final answer, which is 4, we can, when we divide 8 by 2 and make groups of 2, we get 4 of them. That's our final answer. So what we do is we add up. These are what we call our partial quotients, because partial means part of, and a quotient is the answer to a division problem. Each of these groups of 1, we used to use 1 groups of 2, is a part of the final answer. So we'll put them all together, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and we get 4. And this final answer 4, that represents these 4 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4. We made 4 groups of 2. That's your final answer, 4. Let's try this again. Let's try this time. Why don't we divide? Let's divide, let's go back to black. Let's divide these same 8. If you look, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks in this pile. But this time, let's change the divisor. So we'll still start with the same starting number, which we call a dividend. That's the number of things in the pile. It's still 8. We'll still use our division symbol. But this time, we're going to divide by 4. How does that sound? So we're going to ask ourselves, how many groups of 4 can we make from this pile? Can we make at least one group of 4? I think we can. Yeah, let's just pull them out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a group of 4 that we just pulled out of the pile. So just like we did in the last example, we'll start by writing a straight line down the right side of the problem, because that's what we do in partial quotients. And we say 1 over here. That's part of the answer. We just made one group of 4. This is one group of 4. And that's equal to 4 squares. So just like we set aside these 4 squares from the pile, the way we take away that 4 from the pile here when we use partial quotients is subtract the 4 away from the 8. All right, and that gives us 4 left over. And this 4 left over is a number that represents these 4 blocks that are still left over in the pile that we started with. Okay, now we ask ourselves the same question. We just repeat the steps. Can we make another group of 4? Another group of 4 from the 4 we have left over from these 4? Sure we can, yeah. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another group of 4. So we record that as one more group of 4. And one group of 4 is 4. And just like we took it away, right? This group here, we took away from the pile that was here. It's gone now. We've used them all the 8 blocks up, but we've moved it up here, right? And the way we take away that 4 here in our partial quotients method is to subtract. So 4 from the pile, and we take away all 4 because we just made them into a group. And now we have 0 left over. And this 0 left over represents the 0 blocks left in the pile. There's nothing left. So now we add up our partial quotients, each part of the answer. And that's 1 plus 1. That's one group of 4 plus one group of 4 gives us 2 groups of 4. One group of 4, 2 groups of 4. And that's our final answer, 2 groups of 4. When we take 8 blocks and divide them and make groups of 4, we get 2 groups. That's our answer, our quotient. All right, let's try one more. This time, however, if we count the number of blocks we start with, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've changed our dividend, the number of things in the pile that we're starting with. So we're going to use 9 this time. And we're still going to divide it, though. We're going to go back to the first problem. We're going to divide it by 2 again, okay? No, let's divide it by 4. Let's go back to the example we just did. Let's divide it by 4. So this reads 9 divided by 4. Okay? So just like in the first 2 examples, we're going to ask ourselves, how many groups of 4 can we make? How many groups of the divisor can we make from this pile of 9 blocks? And so what do we think? Can we make a group of 4? Sure you can. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a group of 4. All right. So we'll draw our line down the right-hand side. We'll make our one group of 4. One group of 4 is equal to 4. So let's go ahead and put the equal sign, subtraction sign. So we had 9 in the pile. We're taking away 4, right? These 4 that we just separated from the pile. And that leaves us with, well, let's see, it leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It leaves us with 5. 9 minus 4 is 5. Okay, so we just repeat the steps. Can we take away or make another group of 4 from the 5 that are left over? Yeah, there's enough. We can do that. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another group of 4. So we made one more group of 4. One group of 4 is equal to 4. So let's take that away. We had 5 in the pile, and we just took 4 of them and made a group out of them. We took them away from the pile. And the way we do show that is by taking 4 from 5, we subtract. And that leaves us with 1. And check this out. This is the new thing in this problem. This 1 left over here, that represents this 1 block that was left over. We made one group of 4 from 9, and then a second group of 4. That's 2 groups in all. And we had 1 left over. And that's often the case when it comes to division. Oftentimes when we divide, we have something left over because there's just not enough left to make another complete group of whatever number we're dividing by. In this case, it was 4. We don't have enough blocks left to make 4 in another group. It's just 1. So we call that the remainder. It remains. It stays left over. So let's go ahead and finish up this problem. We're going to add our 2 partial quotients together. We got one group that we made first, that's this one, and another group of 4 that we made second, that's that one. We put them together and we get 2 groups of 4. 1, 2, but we also have the remainder of 1 right here. And we write that with a lowercase r for remainder, that r means remainder, and then the number that's left over. In this case, the number is 1. That's our final answer, or quotient, 2, remainder 1. 1 group, 2 groups, remainder 1. Okay, I'm going to share with you a Jamboard, and I'd like you and your teacher to work on this together. And it's going to have blocks. It's going to have 10 blocks instead of 8 or 9. And it's going to have 10 or 11 blocks. And you're going to divide by some similar numbers. You're going to divide by 2, and you're going to divide by 5. And I want you to move the blocks around together with your teacher and record what you're doing using partial quotients, just like I've recorded here in these examples that we've done together. Okay? And then you'll turn in your Jamboard to me in Google Classroom. Okay? Let me know if you have questions. I can't wait to see your work, and I want to help you. So please, when you have a question, either ask the teacher you're working with or ask me. Okay? Okay. Work hard. I know you can do it.